Yo, let's go, baby. Happy Tuesday. Before you go, I am dry Tuesday, drinking Gatorade. Boring. I know. How are you guys? Yeah, I stopped by to say hi. I stopped by to say hello. Now, let me ask you something. Have you gone to the movies? I went to the movies today. The Accountant. Frankie, how are you? Oleg. I went to the movies today. Have you paid attention to what The Accountant is? And I it only dawned on me today. I'm like, wait a minute, it's not The Accountant too. Adrian, did you notice what it says? The Accountant, and then it has a two at the end. But this is not the second part to The Accountant. It is The Accountant to the Second Power. That's why they bring in his brother. And I'm like, dude, that is fucking genius. How come I didn't catch that till today? I'm watching the when the movie finished. What is it? The not the trailer, but the credits. I'm watching the credits, and here comes accountant and the two on the top of the T. And I'm like, holy shit, this is not the accountant two. This is the accountant to the second power. That's why they bring in the Punisher, right? I was like, what the? How did I miss that? Come on, if you know your math, if you know, you know. How the hell did I miss that? I of course it doesn't take me a while. I mean, I guess it took me a while because but only because it's written like that. Hold on, let me check. Where is AMC? Yeah, there's a little two on top of the T. There's no beer today. See, I am doing dry Tuesday. I might as well do dry. We're gonna do dry. Is today my last day, Miguel? I like the shades, bro. My these are my prescription sunglasses. See, these are my regular glasses. But see, I don't want to look like a fucking nerd when I'm talking to you guys. I don't want to look like we're about to fucking split atoms. Well, let me do your taxes, bro. So I rather put these on. These look better. I can still read the screen, and I can still be here instead of looking like I'm about to explain how the Big Bang Theory happened. Dylan, thank you for the likes. So when I watched The Accountant 2, did you notice the accountant has a little 2 on the top? But that's the accountant to the second power. So it's not the accountant 2. That's how. That's why he brings in his brother. And I was like, mind blown. I'm like, how the fuck did I miss that? I work in accounting. I work in accounting. How did I not catch that? But anyways, it was pretty cool. If you have not watched that movie, go watch it. I don't remember what some people say it's Batman and some people say it's Batman and the Punisher. Do you like beer? I don't like beer. Anastasia, how are you? Jack, of course I like beer. Ask me what my favorite beer is. I'm just doing a dry week. Jack, you know what? You know what I like? I like I like a cold beer. But I like real beer. I don't do my favorite beer is a cold beer. My favorite beer is a free beer. Just don't give me Miller Lite. I don't like Miller Lite. I don't like Miller Lite. I like Coors Light. No Miller Lite, no Bud Light. No. Those beers are so fucking awful. You say preach, brother. Give me free beer. Even if you give me a Miller Lite and it's free, fuck, I'll take it. But I'm gonna go out and what about Heineken? what what do you think? What do you think? What are you thinking? You know what beer is recently out, and if you have not enjoyed it or tried it, it is this Corona Sunbrew. This is fairly new. If you have not tried this, that is very good. That is very good. You will dabble. Look, it says here beer brewed with real citrus peels with a splash of real citrus juice. I think Bud Light came with a version of this, but it was more of a coloring than actual flavor. This is actual flavor. This Corona Sunbrew, if you can get a hold of it, I found the big can. Instead of buying the 12 pack or the 6 pack, IPAs, brother. I like the taste of real beer. Hops is not my thing. I think our ancestors, the Vikings, would be so upset. Whoever added more hops than barley. I no. I think if you have more estrogen, right? If you have more estrogen, meaning if you're female, then yeah, go ahead and drink IPAs. I think IPAs were made for women, not for men. That shampoo flavor, brother, I can't do that shit. Noah says Miller. Eh, I can do a Coors Light, brother. I can do a Coors Light. Miller Light, I can't do. IPAs, I like the taste of cebada. The barley. Give me barley. Give me real beer. Give me a PBR, right? Give me a PBR. Give me a Corona Familiar. Give me a real the real taste of beer, right? Look, PBR. Give me real beer, baby. Give me a freaking Modelo Negra. If you haven't tried, if you haven't tried micheladas with Modelo Negra, why Dry Tuesday? Brother, if you only knew the amount of beer that I consume on a weekly basis. You would say, bro, how do you go from 50 beers a week to zero on a Tuesday? But that's how I think that's how control you have to be, right? People think, oh my God, I'm an alcoholic. No, I look, I can drink a Gatorade while I'm talking to you, and I'm not gonna die, right? The whole idea of people being alcoholics because they can't stop, that's bullshit. It's all in our head. It's all in our head. People who say they're addicted, that's all you have to do is stop buying, right? Can I can I go buy some beer? Yeah, but I'm like, you know what? I'll wait for Friday. I did this last week where I ran Monday, I jogged Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I drank on Friday. Trip Trip Willingham. One gorilla versus 100 men, no weapons. I think I heard this. I think I heard. I've been listening to the stories throughout the day. Who is going to approach the gorilla first? How many beers are we crushing on Friday then? Uh, Probably over 12. Probably over 12. Most like most like one gorilla versus 100 men. There there has to be more than 50 casualties. At least 50 casualties. The other 50 men, 40 of them will end up running the opposite direction. The gorilla the gorilla has to win. There's no fucking way. There is no way that that brute force can be controlled. Meh, maybe maybe if you hold him, brother, would you really would you be the one to run up to a silverback gorilla? I I wouldn't. I think anybody smart enough wouldn't fucking go for it. I wouldn't. Is it normal to fear death? I think it's all about perspective. I think it's all about perspective, Javi. Some people are afraid to live, right? Some people are afraid to live, but they've never thought about even death at any fucking point. So imagine people are already afraid to live. Now that you bring up the conversation of is it normal to fear death? I don't think anybody thinks about death, and I don't think anybody is fearful of death. But we are afraid of living. Why? Go out, live the moment. We only have right YOLO. You only live once. But I think we find that curvature. We find that that final. I don't know. I was probably 20, 21 in my 20s. I want to say when you finally realize that life is supposed to be lived. People who sleep 8 hours a day. I'm like, bro, why? I don't get it. No, life was supposed to be lived, not slept. I don't want to sleep 8 hours a day. Fuck that. I go to sleep at midnight, maybe 1 a.m. I wake up at 5, 6 a.m. I sleep 4 or 5 hours a day. The whole sleeping thing, no. No, but you're gonna be tired the whole day. No, I still get out. I still leave my job. I still go do a 5, 6 no, well, I used to do 6 miles. I do 3 to 5 miles a day. Four is my go-to. I can do 4 miles a day, come back, eat something. They say if you sleep less than 7 hours is not healthy. I don't think it's about sleep. I think everything has to do with how you eat how you drink water, right? Not alcohol. How you eat, how you drink, how you exercise, and how you're resting. A 10-minute power nap will give you just the same amount of energy as an 8 hour sleep. Do you nap during the day? I used to nap. Today I got off early. I was waiting for my son to get off schools because we went to watch the movie The Accountant. So yeah, I took a 10-minute power nap. Sam says, "Yo, didn't we match on Grinder? That must have been one of your family members. That looks like me." No, I like women, brother. You do you, bro. You do you. You do you. Right, Javi? So is it normal to fear death? When you say you get anxiety, what is death anxiety? Oh, okay, okay. Now I get it. Now I get it. So now you're afraid of dying. Donald Trump says he's not a sleeper either. I'll try to sleep 6 hours to see how it goes. I think 6 hours is too much already. 4 hours. My biological clocks, even on a day like Friday, even on a day that I drink heavily, like Fridays, if I go to sleep at 1 in the morning, I'm already up at 5:30. 9 to 10 hours. I can't do 9 to 10 hours, brother. I would feel when I if I have ever slept more than 5 6 hours, I am lethargic the whole fucking day. Like I feel like everything is dragging. I feel like heavy. John John says, "Who wins, Superman or Thor?" I Superman has the laser powers on his eyes. I don't think Thor has that. Do I drink energy drinks every morning? I like to have my Rockstar. He says, "Find it a good choice." Coffee? I love coffee. I enjoy coffee. I drink two cups a day. At work, I have one of those Keurig machines. I appreciate my coffee. I drink my 2 cups of coffee a day. My brother brought me some coffee from Honduras, and that coffee is so freaking amazing. Delicioso. Ese café maravilloso. I mean, I guess, you know what coffee is amazing? McDonald's coffee. McDonald's coffee is like the best coffee. People who spend $7, $8 on a cup of coffee just because they want to, do the Starbucks fancy type of thing. I'm like, bro, you are wasting your money. McDonald's has the best fucking coffee. Do you find yourself sleeping more one day out of the week to recover your 4 hour sleep days? No. What happens is this. So so last week I jogged 4 miles Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So this month alone, I think I have like 70 jogged miles. Even though I don't look like I jog because I look like I eat every fucking donut that I see. But imagine how much fatter I would be if I didn't jog, right? I like to eat. I ate pizza 2 days this weekend, right? So I don't hold back on my food. I don't hold back on my drinking, even though I didn't drink last week, Monday through Thursday. I did drink on I did drink on Friday, Saturday, and I drank on Sunday. If if I drink more, like on a Saturday, like on Friday when I no Saturday, I think I drank a little bit more. If I can spend an additional 30 minutes in bed, that's. But see, jogging gives you not only gives you more energy, but you're already exuding, you're sweating out those toxins that you drank last night. But see, it's mind over matter, right? It doesn't matter how messed up you get the night prior. It's just getting out there and doing it. My best friend says, "Dude, how the fuck do you get out there and jog? If you drank all those beers last night," I'm like, "Bro, if you drink like a man, you gotta go run like one too, right? There's no excuses. I'm 50 years old. If I don't take care of myself today, who's gonna take care of me tomorrow? I have to do it. For everything else, you can push a button. Push a button, they pick you up. Push a button, you get food delivered. Push a button, you get anything you can think of. We can get it through your phone. Push a button, and everything happens. Do you think you'll ever stop drinking? I've been sober 3 years. It's a game changer. I've stopped drinking for 30 days, 35 days, and I just I just like having a cold beer, right? Can we stop drinking? Of course we can. Sí, but that's the problem, Javi. Sometimes, we, ¿cómo se dice en español? Somos mal trago, right? We end up doing more damage to our bodies than we would ever think. See, I can stop. Once I feel my body telling me, "Hey, bro, this feels good. Ride the wave. Don't drink anymore, so you can, space it out a little bit more, brother." Once I feel buzzed, if I'm home, I say, "Hey, good night, guys. I gotta go to sleep." I'll tell you when I'm drunk. The one time that I was alive, the one time I was alive. Look, I still kept the bottle. The one time I was alive, I drank. This is screwball. I drank 3/4 of a bottle. I mixed this with what was it? I mixed this with Dr. Pepper, sugar-free Dr. Pepper, cold, right? I kept pouring this shit, and I'm like, "This is fucking amazing." This was like peanut butter and jelly, and I kept serving myself, brother. I was sitting down. I kid you not. I slumped over and I passed out. I had I had like 72 missed calls in the morning. I mean, like 3 hours later when I woke up, I was on the floor. And I saw my phone and I'm like, holy shit, what the fuck happened? And I was still recording. I was still recording. I was still live. Brother, I can't do it. I won't do that anymore. I mean, look, I finished the whole bottle. I never threw it away. So have I overdone myself? Sometimes I did. I have. I passed out on lives before. I went to Vegas one time. I left the bar. I went upstairs to the room, and I broadcasted in the room. In my room, there's nobody there, so it's just me. I broadcasted in the room, drinking beers, and I just slumped over the chair. Stellas were your favorite? I like Stellas. Stellas are the next best thing. Heineken is my favorite. Heineken, brother. I used to be a Corona drinker. Corona, I don't know what the hell they put in Coronas, but when you go over that limit of the 10, 11, maybe 12, you wake up, build a wall, build a wall. You're like, fucking Mexican beer messes you up, brother. So then at one point I discovered Heineken, and I'm like, wait a minute. I had these many beers last night, and I woke up just perfectly fine. So I finally found a beer that loves me back. This is back in 2000. 2001. I think I started collecting Heineken memorabilia off of eBay. You name it. Look around me. I have lights. I have mirrors. I have shirts. I have openers. Look at this beautiful opener. I have all kinds of Heineken memorabilia, brother. You have no idea. This is if you go on my website, theheinekenman.com. I don't think that's even the beginning of it. I have so many things. The guitar. Let me see if I can pan it over to to show you the guitar. There's a Heineken guitar right there. So many items. I have so many Heineken items. You have no idea. The big soccer ball behind me. I have the biggest Heineken memorabilia collection than anybody has ever had. At least I think so. Do I get a kick out of it? Yeah. I I have motorcycle helmets. I have two motorcycle helmets, Heineken helmets. I don't think anybody has what I have. Coasters, my Heineken mouse pad here. I did Formula One back. I wait a minute. Now that I think about it, I've been to I've been to the Formula One twice. Yo, Jiggly, what's up, Jiggly Tummy? How are you? I've gone to the Formula One both years. The first year I didn't even get close to the track. I think I landed the same day of the race, and I never made it to anywhere. I just we just watched the race at a bar with my friend with my brother Robert in Vegas. This year I went to the Heineken Formula One. What is it called? Heineken. I forget what it's called. Anyways, I was there, and not because I was invited by Heineken. By all means, I don't. Heineken does not promote me. I promote Heineken. That's why I don't call this the Heineken room because this is the green room. Yo, Jiggly Tummy, he says my camper is Heineken themed and the wallpapers are too. That's cool. I get a kick of collecting everything that I can when it comes to Heineken. Heineken Silver is amazing. I like Heineken Silver. I got koozies when I went to Formula One last year, November. Heineken does not promote me. I have nothing to do with Heineken. I mean, I've received messages from Heineken on Instagram. I think 3 years ago they sent me a sweatshirt, but that's pretty much it. I have no contact with the company. The company doesn't contact me, and I don't contact them. Our politics, my politics and their politics do not align, right? I remember when the whole Me Too, no, not the Me Too movement, the whole LGBTQ movement happened. Everybody everybody was up in arms, like, oh my god, my beer should not have a rainbow on it. I'm like, dude, it's fucking beer. You're not gonna turn gay because you drink beer. Like, just stop it, right? People were going crazy because oh my god, Coors Light and I don't know what else and Bud Light and everybody made a big deal. And then my friend started sending me messages with Heineken cans that had rainbow on it, and I'm like, what does that have to do with me? Right? You can drink beer all you want if it has a rainbow or not, right? Stop trying to live life around what other people think Think about you. I know I'm a man. Even if I grab the fucking can that has a rainbow, it's not gonna make me gay, right? I have nothing against gay people. Nothing against. People were shooting the cans and it's like, what are you doing anyways? Like, how does that even make sense? Or when Trump became president the first time, remember Trump wanted to build a wall. Even the Pope says, "Oh my God, how dare he want to build a wall and separate people?" I'm like, shut the fuck up, Pope. You live behind walls, right? Why haven't you fucking taken out the Vatican walls? We all have walls, right? And then Heineken also made a statement about uh, we should not have walls and we should not have boundaries and I don't know what else. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure they fucking lock their doors at night. They don't want anybody coming in. So it's one of those things that just it's common sense, And it's not because I praise Donald Trump, and it's not. But at the same time, he's not he's not wrong. You close your fucking. We all close our fucking doors at night. We don't want somebody coming into our house and appreciating the fruits of our labor. So it's all about perspective. That's why if I'm gonna get political, I get political. If not, I don't. But at the same time, when somebody tries to spew negativity or wrong information, I'm like, no, no, no. That's not the way it goes. It is not just because you say just because you say it the way you say it doesn't make it true. So there may be some episodes that I talk about politics more than I do other days, and I'm pretty sure Heineken, watches videos or I who the fuck knows. I if they do, if they don't, I am who I am. I say what I say. I believe what I want to believe. Right? I'm not from this country. I wasn't born here. But look, there's a U.S. flag behind me. So at least I respect where I live. Right? You will never see me lifting up a Honduran flag anywhere unless we're playing the World Cup. Then I will lift up the flag and my guy, hey, go Honduras. But then I'm gonna go protest and lift up a flag from my country. People who are that patriotic, they need you in your country. I live in the United States. I earn in dollars, right? I work here. I'm not. What is no? I'm not gonna do that to myself. That is so. I think that's kind of stupid to people who do that, right? If you want to be that patriotic, your country needs you. They want you back there. Fight for your rights. I fight for my rights where I live, right? I don't want to make this country Honduras. No, this is the United States of America. I have nothing against people who don't speak English. I have nothing against people who if you want to learn, you want to learn. If you want to become, there's people who complain because there's people who complain that they don't have a better job. If you spoke two languages, you would have better jobs. You would have better opportunities. I speak three languages: Portuguese, English, Spanish. Spanish is my native tongue. The best job that I ever had was working for Air France, and I was a customer service representative only for Brazil. Back in the day, this is back in 2000, 2001. That was like $20 an hour. That was back then, 20 years ago. Getting paid $20 an hour, that was great fucking money. But then they outsourced. They moved to where the hell they moved to? I think they moved to Canada, and that was it. And ever since, I started working with temp agencies, office work. Little by little, I started working. Oh, security! I worked security. I did like a year and a half working security for Universal Studios Lower Lot, where the movies take place. That was pretty cool. I just never saw myself being a security guard for the rest of my life. There's people who still work there that I know, and I'm like, there's no growth, bro. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I have nothing against people who are and are who they are and do what they do. I did I did 3 years of dental school down in Brazil. I didn't graduate, but at the same time, I'm like, you know what? Fuck this shit. I want to go back to the United States. I want to do whatever the hell I want to become. My dad was the one pushing me to become a dentist. I'm like, yeah, yeah, no, I'm gonna do whatever the hell I want to do, and I did, and I don't regret it. I don't regret it one bit. Never have I looked back and said, "Fuck! Imagine how many teeth I would have pulled already. Imagine how." No, I don't imagine anything. I'm like, you know what? Fuck that. I don't want to. My brother says he works 8-hour days, 40-hour weeks. The last time I worked a 40-hour week, that was probably when I used to drive Uber. No, you know what? I used to work 40-hour weeks. No, you know what? When my son was born, I was already working with my old boss, and when I was done, I was done. I said, "Hey, boss, I'm done. I'm done with whatever 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 he asked me to do. If I try to work at 8 to 5, right, or 8 to 4, they will pay for my lunch. Some companies pay for your lunch. Some companies don't pay for your lunch. My company would pay for my lunch. So I've always had great bosses, wonderful people who appreciate. I've appreciated them, and they've appreciated. Right? It's a two-way street. When you don't feel comfortable working with whoever you're working with, listen. The best choice or the best option that I can give you: get the hell out of there. Working with anybody or a company or a boss or coworkers who make your life miserable, you know what? Fuck that. Get out of there. Bro, this is your decoration? How are you giving advice? What do you mean? What do you mean how am I giving advice? Because I've lived through shit. We can't give advice from shit that we haven't lived, right? I can't tell you how to make money if I haven't made money. I can't tell you how to respect people if I don't respect myself, right? I can't tell you how to love people if I haven't loved myself first. So how do you give advice? You just make shit up and you go with it, or what? En- Enlighten me. Silly choices. Now I get it. Now I get it. Silly choices. I had not read your grilled cheese fan. Grilled cheese and Heineken. That sounds good right about now. What was I talking about? I forgot. Silly choices stepped in and interrupted my train of thought. And I'm standing up. I'm not even sitting down. I gotta I gotta go to sleep early. I have to do some laundry before I go to work. Early morning. So I'll do that maybe 5 in the morning. Yeah, that sounds about right. I can probably get in probably 4:30 in the morning. Yeah, I'm telling you, the whole fucking sleeping 8 hours a day. No, I stopped doing that long time ago. A long time ago, I stopped doing that long time ago. Well, even after my car accidents, well, not car accident. When I got run over by a car crossing the street, a car hit me while I was jogging. 10, 14, 14. That was 10 years ago. I can't sleep more than 5 hours. My back doesn't allow me. Fucking the pain. No, I get up and I'm like, nope, I gotta get up. I'm good. I don't need to sleep more than 5 hours. 4.5, 5 hours is good enough for me. Today I'm gonna sleep at midnight. 4:30, I'll be up. I'll be doing my first load of laundry by 5:35, 4:40, and I'll be done by I don't know, maybe 6:30, 7 before I leave to before I drop my kid. I drop my kid off at school every morning. Oh yeah, I was talking about people who make your life miserable at work. I've had a few shitty bosses, but that's about it. That's all they've been for me. Shitty bosses, because you're like, sayonara, thank you. I was here once. I don't belong here. Yeah, I've left. You know, I had this one boss who was a wine distributor, and I worked with him for a long time. Until one day, I knocked on his door and I said, "Hey, you know, we had an open door policy." And I knocked on his door and I said, "Hey, boss, it's time for that yearly talk. How about I start getting remunerated for my services throughout the year?" He's like, "What do you mean?" Well, I fix the facts. There's certain things that I do throughout the office that get fixed, and you don't have to pay anymore. Nobody has to be called because I can handle this. So the guy says, "No, no, 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 no." He says, "You don't have to do that. I want to pay somebody to do it." And I'm like, "Yeah, but I already did it." He says, "Yeah, but don't do it." I said, "Okay, so let's leave everything aside. But I do want to talk about a raise." "Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. Bye. I'll see you. Sayonara. Arrivederci. Hasta la vista." So the following day, I gave him my 15-day notice. Did I have a job where to go? No, but I said, you know what? Fuck this guy. I can find a job in the next 15 days, and I did. You have to, you have to respect yourself. There's certain jobs that people take advantage of you, and they want to pull you one way or another, right? And they find a way to disrespect you like that. Bye. The guy says, "Well, wait, we can talk about this." Yeah, we talked about it yesterday, and you said no. So it's a two-way street, right? I can only respect you as much as you want to respect me. And when it comes to you paying me for me giving you my services at this point are worth a little more because I've been doing a little more. But you don't want to meet me there, so that meant I gotta go somewhere else, and I did. Bye. It always has to be there, and it always has to be exactly that. You see how Trump made an executive order. I don't know if it's true or not about the truck drivers that have to now pass a test in English, and I hope it's true for the simple reasons that I've always said. You know how McDonald's, or at least here in California, the minimum wage for fast food workers was raised to a top dollar. Any company that has more than 25 employees have to pay you, what is it, $20? And I'm like, there's people who actually have gone through college and they have a degree or are still trying to get that degree, and they will never, even if they earn $20 an hour, they still owe I don't know how much, right? So, anyways, and I said, you know what? Even McDonald's should tweak the way they hire people, right? So that way everybody has a chance. What about that person who is a little bit more, a little who has a little bit more education than that person who doesn't even speak English? So let's make it even for everybody else, right? Let me give you five math problems. Let me give you an English. Let me give you an essay. Write me an essay of whatever, 500 words. What makes you what makes your day better? Something, you know. That way everybody has a chance. Oh, and by the way, pee in this cup. Oh no, that's not fair. Why isn't that fair? There's people who don't need the fucking drugs. What if we put you behind the fryer and you're high as shit, or you got high the previous night? Now you're coming in. Do I do I want that liability? No. So there's certain things where I say, you know what? I would change the way the company would hire. Why not? Everybody deserves a fair chance. I would make it fair for everybody. What the fuck are we listening to? That's what I would do. There was another thing that I wanted to talk about when it came to hiring people. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Back before the pandemic, I used to drive Uber, and I remember, what if Uber started drug testing their fucking drivers? There's people who are driving you and they're fucking smoked out of their wits. The fucking liability, right? Imagine if Uber and Lyft started drug testing their fucking drivers, they would lose half the fleet. Why haven't they done it? Why don't they do it? I don't want anybody high driving me around. There was a there was a beer festival in Burbank. This has to be 8 years ago, before the pandemic. 8 years ago, my son was probably 6 years old. My son is 15 years old now, right? 8 years ago, minus 15, 7. You need a calculator. So I'm walking around drinking my beer. My son is with me. He's eating the pretzels, and I'm going around talking to people and enjoying the 3 ounce pours, new beers that I've always wanted to try. But you're like, I don't want to fucking take that 6 pack home. What if I don't like it? So I'm drinking my beer, and I feel tipsy. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go home. I call the Uber, and the Uber picks me up. I get my son in the car. I put the seatbelt on, and I tell the driver, I'm like, brother, your car smells so potent of cannabis sativa. And the guy, I kid you not, he opens his console, his center console, and he pulls out a little bottle. He says, "Yeah, bro, I just picked up my fucking prescription, bro." And I'm like, this motherfucker, I know he smoked that shit because it smells like somebody sparked a fucking joint in the car. So as soon as I got off the car, I reported that to Uber. I'm like, this guy has marijuana in his car. Did I see him smoking? No. Did it smell like marijuana? Like potent? Very, very potent? Yes. Was he under the influence? I don't know. I'm not the cops, but I think that's very dangerous. Very dangerous. When I drove Uber, I remember Driving in the mornings, I used to get up at early morning, 4:30 in the morning, just so I can get the first rides over to LAX, right? And yeah, I would get lucky. One morning, I think I did all three airports. Actually, I did four. I did I did Burbank Airport. I did I did Santa Ana Airport. I came back to LAX. Then I ended up in oh yeah, I ended up in John Wayne Airport, complete opposite direction. One day I did all Long Beach. I forget how many airports I did one morning. The best day driving Uber was one morning I picked up somebody going to the Burbank Airport. I went down to LAX. From LAX, regulated goods. What the hell? Somebody reported that I'm showing. I'm drinking water, dude. So, anyways, one morning I ended up oh Burbank Airport, LAX, LAX. It gave me a notice saying the trip was over 45 minutes, right? So I'm like, yeah, where am I going? Probably back to the valley. So I picked up the ride. I showed up to the hotel, and this lady has a big fucking suitcase. And I start to trip, and this trip says we're going down to San Diego, and I'm like, holy shit! I've never been down to San Diego, Coronado Island, and that trip was probably like an hour and a half. And I was having fun, talking to the girl, going down to San Diego, and we had a nice conversation. As soon as I landed in Coronado Island, back in the day, Uber had implemented a feature where you can put your return address, right? So I put return address to Burbank, and I remember I had to go to the bathroom really bad. I'm like, I'm not going to turn it off. What if there's somebody trying to go back to one of the airports or any ride? So I left the thing on, and bleep bleep bleep, it blinked, and it said 45-minute plus ride, and I'm like, what are the odds? The closest airport is 45 minutes away, which is the one by Disneyland, Santa Ana Airport. So I get to the hotel. There's a lady with two suitcases. So I start to trip, and I'm thinking, now she's gonna go to the one close. As long as I get close to LA, and she was coming back to LAX. So I started the trip, and I said, if you can do me a big favor, I said, wait for me 2 minutes. I really have to go to the bathroom. I just drove down from LAX. She says, oh, go ahead, mijo. Hold on, I gotta do this freaking feature. So I went to the bathroom, washed my hands, came back, and I said, no, no freaking way. I said, I just came from LAX. Now you're taking me back. She says, is that a bad thing? I said, no, no, no. That's the best thing that's ever happened to me ever driving Uber. And she says, mijo, I have a question. She said, I'm going back to Panama today. Is there any way you can stop anywhere that I can buy some toiletries? and I get some coffee. And I said, "Oh, I know exactly the place." So driving back from San Diego, I stopped by San Juan Capistrano, and there's a Ralph's right there, right off the exit. So I said, take as long as you want. I'll wait for you out here. Don't you worry about a thing. So she got out. She came back like 15 minutes later, 10 minutes later, 15 minutes later, happy. See, that lady was happy with bags of everything, and she had coffee, and she had sushi, and I don't know what else. She said, "Mijo, you have no idea. They even have sushi in there." I'm like, "I know. That's that a fucking cool store, Ralph's." Remember the Ralph's started having Starbucks inside the right. So she came out with coffee, and she got me some. She got me a sushi roll, or maybe it was a chicken sandwich. I forget what she gave me. And I'm like, "No, you didn't have to." She says, "No, mijo, don't worry about it. This is amazing." That day, I think in whatever amount of time that I took from San Diego, from LAX to San Diego and back to LAX, I think I made like $500 that morning. And I'm like, "Dude, this is the easiest I have ever done in Uber." That was a good day. That was a good day. If you ask me if I miss driving, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Not one bit. Listen, thank you for being here. Thank you for keeping me company. I will be back tomorrow. Happy Tuesday. I gotta go get my things ready so I can do my laundry in the morning. It's almost midnight. It's 11:46. Lakers play tomorrow. The Lakers play tomorrow. The Lakers are not gonna make it. I'm a big Laker fan. I don't like LeBron. I don't like LeBron. I've never liked LeBron. I think he's a great fucking athlete. I think he does great for the kids, his foundation and all that. But no, for him to call himself the king, bro, stop, please, stop, stop it. Am I dying for a beer? No. I should have jogged today, but Tuesdays I will start going to the movies with my son on Tuesdays. We have lunch after school. We go to the movies. Movies used to be there used to be matinees. AMC used to have matinees. The first showing would be at 8, 10, 10, 10 in the morning, 11, and it would be less less expensive to go matinees. Now every movie starts after 12, and they give you 30% if you go between 12 and 3. Like, bro, come on. Why did they have to do that? Isn't that the same reason that Las Vegas is having a hard time trying to bring in tourists? Because every fucking thing has astronomical prices. You want to stay at the one of the hotels? Oh, yeah, here it's $9 a night, but it's $70 for hotel fees. I'm like, fuck these people. Beer prices used to be $4 or $5 a beer. Last year I went $11 a beer. I'm like, dude, what the fuck happened? Why are these people getting so fucking greedy? Jesus Christ. Anyways, we'll talk more tomorrow. It's been a pleasure. Thank you for being here. Hasta la vista, baby. Thank you. We'll continue the story tomorrow. All right. Hasta la vista, baby.